Title: The Cost of Living, 1967. 1967, a time known for flower power, peace marches, and the unyielding belief that lava lamps were the pinnacle of home decor. But aside from tie-dye and vinyl records, what was life really like financially? Let's delve into the everyday expenses of this groovy year, when the Beatles were ruling the charts and bell-bottoms were expanding people's wardrobes and possibly their debts. First, let's talk about housing, or as people like to call it, the place where we stash our lava lamps. The average cost of a home hovered around $22,000. Mortgage rates were about 6%, and neighbors still brought over casseroles instead of asking you why you hadn't mowed your lawn. Utility bills were simpler, though not quite as low as the optimism during the summer of love. Your average electricity bill was about $8 a month, assuming your lava lamp wasn't left on all day. Water was inexpensive, primarily because people hadn't yet figured out how to charge for rain. Feeding the family back then was an exercise in brand loyalty and gelatin-based salads. A gallon of milk was a mere 99 cents, giving kids their daily dose of vitamin D without breaking the bank. However, if you were one of those fancy families who insisted on pouring milk over cereal rather than eating it dry, you'd spend about 35 cents more. Gasoline prices were quite the pleasant sensation at roughly 33 cents per gallon. Of course, it was worth every penny to cruise down the main drag in your Ford Mustang, listening to Penny Lane as loudly as modern speakers would allow, which, given the technology back then, meant not very. Clothing, for most, was a kaleidoscope of colors. A good pair of Levi's cost about $5.50, which was more than fair considering they doubled as formal wear. If you were really daring, and a bit well off, you might even splurge on a Nehru jacket for $20 and attend parties where people spoke knowingly about the vibes. The entertainment budget mostly entailed movie tickets at $1.25 a pop, unless you could sneak into a drive-in. Television, a mainstay of family evenings, was free if you could stand a bit of snow and an occasional uncooperative rabbit ear antenna. Despite the whiff of prosperity, medical care was still a financial quagmire. The average day in the hospital cost around $40, which means people tended to graciously thank their appendix for staying attached. In 1967, people believed a dollar could get them anything, including happiness, enlightenment, or at least a thick milkshake. This was a time when inflation was something only certain balloons experienced, and everyone was blissfully unaware of phrases such as economic downturn and mortgage crisis. So there you have it, 1967, a year filled with economic surprises, groovy vibes, and just enough disposable income to keep that lava lamp glowing well into the night. Would you go back? Only if you promise to bring back some bell-bottoms and possibly a recipe for gelatin salads.